Hi, my name is Jonathan Svitak. I'm the attorney with the Shannon Law Group, and our firm helps people recover from vaccine injuries or adverse events. And we do this by filing petitions for them in the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. So today we're going to talk about the MMR vaccine and some of the injuries or illnesses that are associated with that vaccine or vaccines and are listed on the vaccine injury table. Now, the MMR vaccine is actually a combination of three different vaccines: the vaccination against measles, mumps, and rubella. Now, all these vaccines were developed individually between 1950 and 1970 and were combined into the three vaccines in 1971. Today, the combination vaccine is administered routinely to children. There are 7 injuries or illnesses that are listed on the vaccine injury table associated with the MMR vaccine. The first is anaphylaxis, or a severe allergic reaction to the vaccination. Second is encephalopathy or encephalitis, which is an inflammatory process in the brain, which requires immediate attention. It is usually marked by a significant decrease in consciousness in the individual, lasting for at least 24 hours. The third type of injury is called a SERVA injury, which is a shoulder injury related to vaccine administration. In a SERVA injury, the actual administration of the vaccine is done in the wrong spot or at the wrong angle, and it causes inflammation in your shoulder joint, which can be identified as tendonitis, bursitis, or a rotator cuff injury. Now, treatment for a SERVA injury can include physical therapy, a cortisone shot injection, or in some severe cases, surgery. Another injury or illness associated with the MMR vaccine is fainting or temporary loss of consciousness. The fifth injury or illness associated with the MMR vaccine is chronic arthritis, which is obviously some joint inflammation caused by the vaccination itself. Now, in a chronic arthritis case, what the court would be looking for is for an acute onset of your joint inflammation or swelling within between 7 and 42 days after receiving the rubella vaccine. Now, they would also be looking for no history of any arthritis prior to the vaccination. The sixth injury or illness associated with the MMR vaccine is ITP, which is a blood disorder characterized by decreased platelets in the blood. Now, clinically, this would be seen as either bruising or bleeding in the gums or internally, and the onset for that clinical manifestation would be between 7 and 30 days following the vaccine. Finally, the last injury illness associated with the MMR vaccine is vaccine strain measles viral disease in an immunodeficient recipient, which if you believe you've experienced one of these vaccine injuries or conditions, you might be entitled to compensation in the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. And how that program works is an attorney would help you draft a petition alleging that you experienced a vaccine injury, and making sure that your injury meets the criteria set forth in the vaccine injury table would entitle you to compensation. The way we do that is by drafting the right petition for you, getting all the necessary medical records that we need to help prove that you've experienced the injury listed on the table, and making sure that all the other evidence that we need is included with the petition for the court and for the government to make a determination. Now, assuming that you do meet the criteria set forth in the vaccine injury table, it's likely that the government will concede that you have a vaccine injury. The question then becomes, what kinds of compensation are you entitled to? That's where we would come in again and help determine how much out-of-pocket medical expenses you've incurred as a result of that injury, whether you've incurred any lost wages or earnings as a result of that injury, and what your pain and suffering is that you've experienced while you were treating for that injury. All of these things combine to form what your compensation would become in the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. At this stage, your attorney would advocate on your behalf for the compensation you're entitled to and try to work out a resolution with the government on that number. If there are any disputes between us and the government, the judge is there to resolve those disputes and award you the compensation that you deserve. Now, throughout this entire process, you're not going to pay the attorneys anything. The attorneys are paid through the program, through the same fund that pays out compensation for individuals who've experienced injuries. So at no point during the entire process do you ever have to worry about if, when, or how your attorney is going to be paid. If you'd like to learn more about the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, I wrote a book about it last year called The Vaccine Injuries: Understanding the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. If you'd like a free copy of this book, text VICP to 312-847-2428, and our office will send you a free copy, no questions asked. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel for more content